discuss terminology behind the chapter. There are so many new terms related to the chapter. So today we'll discuss about all the new terms related to the chapter. Okay. So this topic is very important. Last class we have discussed the beginner of the concept coordination compound, and Alfred Werner proposed postulates regarding coordination compounds. According to Alfred Werner, there are four major postulates. And which are the postulates? First one, metal ion has two different valencies. One valency is called the primary valency, second is called the secondary valency. And primary valencies and secondary valencies are totally different. And primary valencies are normally ionizable and secondary valencies are non-ionizable. So primary valencies will not play any role for the structure of compound, but secondary valencies play an important role to decide the structure of the compound. Primary valencies can be satisfied by means of only anions, while secondary valencies can be satisfied by means of both anions and neutral molecules. Okay, so these are the postulates regarding, and every metal atom or ion has fixed number of secondary valencies. It has fixed number of secondary valencies which decide the shape of the molecule. Okay, so this is the preliminary topic related to the chapter that we have discussed so far. Now let us start. Which are the important terms related to coordination compound? Okay, very important. First term is coordination entity. You can write the title. Coordination entity. It constitutes a central metal atom or ion bonded to a fixed number of ions or molecules. Okay, so I will give one example. Through that, maybe it will be clear to you. COCl3 NS3 gas. So this is one example. And coordination entity means what? It constitutes central metal atom and fixed number of ions, and in this case 3 Cl minus and 3 ammonia molecule. These two are function as ligand and cobalt to function as the central metal atom. These all constitute the coordination entity. Okay, so what is coordination entity? Coordination entity constitute a central metal atom or ion bonded to a fixed number of ions or molecules. Okay, so this is one example. If you want one more example, I will give you another example. NiCO4 times. This is another example. In this case, nickel atom and carbonyl group. CO is function as the ligand and nickel is function as the metal atom or ion. So these are two examples. So this is the meaning of coordination entity. Okay, and the next term is central metal atom or central atom or ion. Second. Central atom or ion. What is central atom or ion? It is a species to which a fixed number of ions or groups are bounded to a definite geometrical arrangement around it. So no need of understand all these explanations. Simply you understand this. Central metal atom or ion is the species around which fixed number of atoms or molecules are bonded in a definite geometry. In a definite geometry means in a definite shape. like tetrahedral shape, square planar, octahedral. In these are some examples. Okay, this is the meaning of the term central metal atom or ion. Other way we can say that central metal atom or ion is a species which is function as a Lewis acid. Lewis acid means a species with a deficiency of electron. Species with a deficiency of electron. So, in this sense, we can call the central metal atom or ion as Lewis acids. They are also called Lewis acid in the sense where they are also deficient of electrons. Okay. So, this is the first two terms. Next, three, the third one, second important topic of the second component of complex. It is ligand. Ligand means what? Ligand means again it may be an ion or it may be a molecule with at least one donor atom. At least. See, this is the necessary condition. That means it must contain at least one donor atom. It may be one atom or it may be two atoms, it may be three atoms, it may be four donor atoms. It depends. But at least it has one donor atom which is capable of providing at least one lone pair of electron to central metal atom or ion. So, on the basis of number of donor atoms which are present in this central metal atom, ligands are classified under various categories. If the ligand has only one donor atom, that type of ligand is called a unidentate ligand. Unidentate. See, simply I'll derive the meaning of the term denda. Dent simply means teeth. You know the dentist specialization in teeth. So, unidentate means it has minimum one lone pair. So, because through this lone pair only, these species making coordinate covalent bond with the central metal atom or ion. So, that is why they are called the dendates. So, unidentate. Unidentate means only one donor atom, and so many examples are there. So, like Cl minus, OH minus, these are all cases. This is coming into the category anions. It is not only anion, water, H2O, NS3. These are some more examples which are also coming under the category unidentate. Okay, so unidentate ligand simply means ligand with at least one donor atom. So they are called the unidentate ligand. Now, what do you mean by didentate ligand? I will run this now. Didentate ligand. Didentate. Di means what? Two. Didentate ligand means ligand with two donor atoms. Okay, so I will give one example. There two donor atoms are there. CH2, NH2, CH2, NH2. This is a neutral molecule, but you can see that here we have nitrogen atom with a lone pair of electron. Here there is another nitrogen atom again with a lone pair. So they are capable of function as ligand and capable of connected through this nitrogen atom and this nitrogen atom. Therefore, they are known under this compound is called the, what is the IUPAC name of this compound? Anyone can say IUPAC name? What is the IUPAC name of this compound? Anyone? No one. IUPAC name is ethane 1,2-diamine. Ethane, because it has two amino groups, so we can't say it as, we can't omit the ending of alkane E. We can't omit, so we can't even omit the alphabet E. So instead of that, we have to add the prefix as di, then we can add that amine. So this is ethane 1,2-diamine. Ethane 1,2-diamine. So this is a neutral molecule, but it functions as a ligand, and it is an example of light and weight ligand. I will give another example. Okay. COOH, COOH. What is this compound? Anyone can say what is this compound? Anyone? This is the compound we are using the last year in practical, but you have no idea. And this is oxalic acid. Oxalic acid titrate against NaOH. Maybe you can remember. Okay, if you forgot, leave it. This is oxalic acid, and oxalic acid is not a ligand, but oxalate ion. This H has removed like this, and here we can write minus. So this is dioxalate, and this is called oxalate ion. And it has two donor atoms, two oxygen atoms. So it will also function as a didentate. So I hope you understood the meaning of the term didentate. It is not a 1 or 2. There are some cases where we have even 6 donor atoms. Such a ligand is one example of such a ligand is there. Before that I will tell you the name. What is the name of such a ligand? They are called the polydentate ligand. Polydentate ligand simply means a ligand with more than 2 donor atoms. One example is EDTA. EDTA. I will tell you the full form. Ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Ethylene diamine tetraacetate. So the structure is not very important, but if you want, I will tell you, I will draw it. Okay. It is starting from ethylene diamine. We know what is ethylene diamine. Okay. CH2. And here we have NH2, NH2. Okay. So this is the ethylene diamine. And I remove all the hydrogen atoms. Instead of that, I have add acetate ion. What is acetate ion? CH2, COO minus, CH2, COO minus, CH2, COO minus, CH2, COO minus. Okay, this is the structure of ADTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetate ion. See, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 oxygen atoms, they are function as the ligand. Again, these 2 nitrogen atoms, these are also function as donor atoms. 1, 2 donor atom, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 donor atoms are there. So this is generally called a hexadentate. This is generally called a polydentate ligand. But since it has 6 donor atoms, this ligand is an example of hexadentate ligand. Hexa means 6. So it has 6 donor atoms. That's why it is called a hexadentate ligand. Okay, I hope it is clear to you and understood. It depends on number of donor atoms. On that basis only ligands are classified under all these categories: unidentate ligand, didentate ligand, polydentate ligand, etc. Okay. Now we come to another type of ligand. Maybe you can understand the meaning of the term. They are also the one more type is there. They are called ambidentate ligand. Ambidentate ligand. Ambidentate ligand means there is a group of atom present in an ion, but these in particular group it has 2 donor atoms. So at a time it is capable of linking to both the atoms at a time. So they are not. That means ligand which can making bond through 2 different atoms. They are called the ambidentate ligands. So I will give some example. First example is NO2 minus NO2. You know the bond, how the structure is coming. N double bond O is there, and here there is another bond, coordinate bond. This oxygen function as a ligand. and this nitrogen also. When we draw the structure in this way, this oxygen is function as a ligand. At the same time, this nitrogen is also function as a ligand. So that's why if the linkage is through oxygen, they are called the nitrito compound. If it is through nitrogen, they are called the nitro compounds. Nitro and nitrito, their names are also totally different. If bonding through oxygen, they are called the nitrito compound, and bonding through nitrogen, they are called the nitro compound. So their names are also different. This is one example. Another example is CN, cyanide, nitrile and isonitrile. Same. So one more example, thiocyanate, SCN minus. In this case also, at a time, nitrogen is function as a ligand, donor atom, carbon is also function as a donor atom. So these are those ligands which can making a bond through two different atoms simultaneously or one by one, and it has different names. Therefore, they are called the ambidentate ligand. Okay, so this is the third term. Next term is coordination number. So under the heading ligand, we have discussed four different terms. Which are they? What is the definition? What is unidentic ligand and didentate ligand? And what is polydendate ligand with one example? And last is what is ambidentate ligand. Okay, so this is all about the ligand. Next term is coordination number. I think it is fourth number, coordination number. No need to write any notes now. I will give it afterwards. After explanation, I will give it separately. Okay. What is coordination number? Coordination number is defined as number of ligand or donor atom to which the metal atom is directly bonded. To which the metal atom is directly bonded. What do you mean by directly bonding and indirectly bonding? So I will give one example. COCl3 NH3 thrice. So in this case, it is clear through cobalt atom how many molecules or anions are directly attached. 3 chlorine and 3 ammonia molecules. So total 3 plus 3. What is the number? 6. So the coordination number of cobalt is 6. I will give another example in this case. Okay. Another example is NS3 going CL3. Look at this example. In this case, these two are primary valencies. These two are secondary valencies, and this is primary valency. So what is primary valency? Very important. When we represent a coordination complex, the ions which are represented outside the square bracket. So in this case, it is sulfate ion, which is represented outside the square bracket. These are simply those ions which are satisfied the primary valencies of central metal atom. That means chromium has primary valency which is satisfied by means of sulfate ion. And those atoms or those compounds or anions which are inside the square bracket along with the metal atom or ion. In this case, which are they? Ammonia molecule and chlorine. These two ion or compound, they represent secondary valencies which are non-ionizable. They represent coordination number. Okay, so 2 plus 2, 4 coordination number. So every case, the coordination number is different. Okay, every case. In the case of chromium, it is different. Cobalt, it is different. Nickel, it is different. So every case, it is different. Okay. Now the next term is coordination sphere. Fifth term is coordination sphere. What is coordination sphere? The central metal atom or ion and the ligands attached to it, which are enclosed in the square bracket. It is called a coordination sphere. What does it mean? I will write the example like BC3, NS3, 3 times. In this case, everything is enclosed in the square bracket. What do you mean by this and the other? What is the difference between these two? So I will give another example. K4, FC, CF6. Is that another example? Okay. Look at these, compare these two. In this case, potassium is outside coordination, outside the square bracket. And in this case, there is no ions which are outside the square bracket. So in those cases where ions are there in outside the square bracket also, but it is not necessary that there must be ions on the left hand side or right hand side of the square bracket. It is not compulsory, but there are coordination compounds in which primary valencies are also there and which are represented outside the square bracket in the formula. So, okay, so in these two cases, I will explain coordination sphere. In this case, first case, coordination sphere means it includes copper, chlorine, and ammonia. Whole, everything is there. But in this case, coordination sphere simply means it is iron and cyanide ion. Potassium is not included. Why potassium is not included? Potassium ions are outside the square bracket, which is not bonded to central atom through coordination covalent bond. Those atoms or ions or those molecules which are connected to the central metal atom through coordinate covalent bond are enclosed inside the square bracket and they represent coordination sphere. That is the meaning of the term coordination sphere. So sphere, coordination sphere which include the metal atom or the ions or molecule which are bonded through coordinate covalent bond to the central metal atom. So this is the meaning of the term coordination sphere. Okay. So these are preliminary idea regarding the basic terms related to coordination compound. Then little more terms are there, but without diagram, it can't understand better. So I will now share my screen and I will tell you some, in between I will give the explanation. Okay. So let us think about, I am presenting now. So these all basic terms, terminology of the chapter is very, very important. Okay, so try to learn the chapter. You with the help of all these terminology, we have see important terms related to the chapter. So all the terms are very, very important. Okay, so if you want note, you can take the notes from these slides. Okay, because everything is given clearly in the slide. Little bit correction is here and there, so in between I will tell you. Okay, so let us revise it again. First of all, coordination complex or entity. Coordination complex or entity contains a central metal atom or ion bonded to a fixed number of neutral molecule or ion capable of donating electron pairs through coordinate bond, and which is enclosed in a square bracket, and which is represented in the square bracket. The whole means coordination sphere. So diagram is also given, example is given. Look at the example. CONH3 6 times Cl3, which are enclosed. Coordination complex means the whole, but coordination sphere simply means which is enclosed in the square bracket. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Then this is a new term, very important. Oxidation number of coordination complex. Charge carried by the central atom after removing all ligands along with the electron pairs which are shared with the central metal atom is called the coordination number of metal atom. So in this case, no need to remember the concept of oxidation number exactly in the form of definition. But this concept is important while we are naming the coordination complex. How to determine oxidation number of central metal atom or ion. This determination of oxidation number we can do with the help of same rule that we have done for finding out the oxidation number of normal compounds. Same rule is same. Okay, rule is same. Maybe you are remembering all the rules. Which are the rules regarding oxidation number? Oxidation number of fluorine is always -1. Oxidation number of oxygen is -2, except in some cases like peroxide it is -1. Compounds with fluorine it is different. And in this way, oxidation number of alkali metal is +1. Alkaline earth metal. These all rules are there. And apart from that, one more rule is there. If it is a neutral molecule, oxidation number is the sum of oxidation number of all atoms present in the compound. And if it is an ion, the sum is equivalent to that charge carried by that ion. These are all rules. So that we will do again in this year also. This chapter also it is very important. Okay. So that is oxidation number. Perfect. What is coordination number? Look at that. That we have already discussed. Which are the number of ligands which are directly attached to the central metal atom through coordinate covalent bond. They are called, and that number represented coordination number. This number and oxidation number are different. Okay. Some cases coincidentally it may be same, but both are totally different concepts. Oxidation number and coordination number. Okay. Now come to the next topic. That is types of coordination compound. This you have to remember, very important. When we are consider the coordination compounds, they are generally classified into three categories. First category is called the cationic complex. Second is called anionic complex, and third is called the neutral complex. Very simple concept. What is cationic complex? If the complex carry a positive charge, look at this, CONH3 6 times 3+. So it belongs to the category cationic complex. A complex carrying a net positive charge is called the cationic complex. Second, what is an anionic complex? Look at this example, FeCN 6 times the whole 4-. Okay, see the charge carried by the complex minus. That's why the complex is called the anionic complex. A coordination complex which has a net negative charge is called the anionic complex. Then last category, neutral complex. Complex which has no net charge. Look at the example, PT, NH3 twice, Cl2. Then it is enclosed in the square bracket. Outside the square bracket there is no ion, and it will neither carry a positive charge nor carry a negative charge. So this complex, this type of complex belong to the category neutral complex. Okay, so this is all about the classification of complex. There are all three types. Okay, did you understand the point? कोई भी बच्चे unmute करके respond कर सकते हैं, because now I can't see your chat box. Okay, did you follow this? Got it? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other student from boys side? Is there any boys there in my class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay. Now come to the next topic, central atom or ion. This we have already discussed. Coordination complex. No need of learning the definition. Understand the concept. Coordination complex, metal atom or ion to which a fixed number of molecules are attached. it is called a central metal atom. In this case, platinum is the central metal atom. Okay, fine. Now come to the next slide. Ligand. Look at the ligand. Ligand is a charged ion or neutral molecule which is capable of donating a pair of electrons to the central metal atom. We know this. And on the basis of charge carried by the ion, there are three different. See, look at this. Cationic ligands are also there. But look at this. NO plus. Oxygen carry the charge plus, but nitrogen is free. This nitrogen is capable of function as a donor atom. That's why we can say that cationic ligands are also there. Okay. And if NO plus is a ligand, it is called a nitrosonium ion. And if NO2 plus is there, it is called a nitronium ion. So on the basis of charge carried by the ligand, there are different type of ligand. One is called anionic ligand and second is called the cationic ligand. Okay, got it? Third is called the neutral ligand. Neutral ligand means they are simply compounds which do not carry any charge, like water, ammonia, carbon monoxide. So try to write the name of this ligand. Okay, इसके पहले वाला बताती हूँ मैं और वो ligand का नाम आप लिख लीजिए. और सारे बच्चे लिखना है. Anionic ligand लिखो. F minus. How to name it? Fluoro, Cl, chloro. And here there is a change in coordination IUPAC in nomenclature because Cl minus is called the chlorido, bromido and all. Okay, but the ions are represented as chloro, bromo, fluoro, cyano, etc. Okay. Now look at this example. NO plus. Write the name nitrosonium. And very important, underline these last three alphabets IUM. Generally, positive ligands are ending with the suffix IUM. Okay, like this. Nitronium, NO2 plus is called a nitronium. आप underline कर लीजिए IUM. This is common for positive charge ligand or positive charge ion. Okay, that's important. Now come to the next one. Write the name of all. H2O is not called water. It has a specific name in coordination, compound, coordination, chemistry. It is aqua. Write the name. NS3, it is called amine. Look at the spelling. AMMINE. Carbonyl, CO, it is a compound, but it is represented as carbonyl, not carbon monoxide. Okay, so these names are very important. Okay, now you can again classify ligand on the basis of mode of attachment. Mode, how they attach to the central metal atom or ion. Look at this, unidentate ligand, or it is also called the monodentate. This we have already discussed. Bidentate, it can be also called a didentate, same meaning. And polydentate, tridentate, tetradentate, polydentate, hexadentate, अभी हमने ये पढ़ा है. Okay, ligands. So this topic we will discuss in the next class. Okay, now I'm stop sharing because that topic is a very important topic. So we'll discuss in the next class. Okay, so this is all about the preliminary things.